Christmas Eve should have been filled with warmth, but the air in my new wife's family home was icy beneath the glittering lights. Emma, my daughter, moved quietly around the table, her small hands arranging silverware with care. Laughter echoed from the kitchen, but none of it reached her. Then, as Emma placed the last napkin, my wife's mother glanced over and said, "We only set places for family tonight." The words hung in the air, sharp and cold. Emma froze, her eyes searching mine. I felt the world tilt. The room fell silent, every face turned away. I never imagined Christmas would end like this. After Emma's mother passed away, it was just the two of us against the world. I learned to braid her hair, pack her lunches, and listen to her quiet worries at night. Emma was gentle, always the first to offer a smile or a helping hand, even when her own heart was heavy. When I met my new wife, I hoped blending our families would bring us both a fresh start, a chance for laughter to return to our home. But her family was different, quick to judge, slow to welcome outsiders. I wanted so badly for Emma to be accepted, to see her find a place at their table. Instead, I watched her kindness meet cold, closed doors. Back in the present, the tension snapped as my wife's sister raised her voice. "It's family only at the table tonight. That's how we do things here." My new wife looked at me, then at her mother, her lips pressed tight, but she said nothing. Emma's face crumpled, her eyes shining with tears she refused to let fall. Without a word, she began to gather her coat and small purse, her movements slow and careful, as if trying not to disturb the fragile peace. My heart twisted, watching her shrink into herself, made to feel like a stranger on a night meant for belonging. In that moment, I knew I had to choose, protect the peace or protect my daughter. My mind spun as I watched Emma slip her arms into her coat, her shoulders hunched in defeat. I remembered the nights I promised her she'd never be alone, that I'd always stand by her, no matter what. Now, I was letting her walk out into the cold, all for the sake of keeping peace with people who barely saw her as human. My wife's family avoided my gaze, some stared at their plates, others exchanged smug glances, as if this was the natural order of things. My chest ached with shame and anger. I wanted to shout, to demand they see Emma for the gentle soul she was, but fear held me back. Would standing up for her mean losing my new marriage? Was I willing to risk everything for my daughter's dignity? The answer pressed against my heart, impossible to ignore. I stood, my chair scraping loudly against the floor, breaking the uneasy silence. My voice shook but didn't falter as I said, "If Emma isn't welcome here, then neither am I." Every eye in the room snapped to me, some wide with shock, others narrowing in disapproval. I crossed the room to Emma, took her trembling hand in mine, and faced my wife's family. "Thank you for showing us who you really are," I said, my words ringing with finality. Emma's grip tightened, and together we walked toward the door. I didn't look back. You won't believe what happened when I walked out that door, but in that moment, I knew I was finally doing right by my daughter. We drove through the quiet streets, the only sound the hum of the engine and the soft sniffle of Emma beside me. For a while, neither of us spoke, the weight of what happened settling between us. Then, I pulled into a small diner, its neon sign flickering in the night. Over burgers and fries, Emma's smile slowly returned, and laughter bubbled up between us, fragile but real. I reached across the table, squeezed her hand, and said, "You are my family, Emma. No one can ever take that away." My phone buzzed with a call from my wife, but I let it ring, my focus on the daughter who needed me most. In that moment, I knew I'd made the right choice. Family isn't defined by last names or shared traditions, it's built on love, loyalty, and the courage to stand up for each other when it matters most. That Christmas Eve, I learned that protecting my daughter meant more than fitting in or keeping the peace. Have you ever faced a moment where you had to choose between silence and standing up for someone you love? What would you have done? Sometimes, true family is the one you fight for.